Big Brother talk show at CBS.com. I'm your host, Gretchen Massey. Jase is here for perhaps his last day.
Riding shotgun.
Riding shotgun. And today is the day that I've been both looking forward to and completely dreading. We have the most recently evicted all-star, Marcellas Reynolds. Marcellas! Welcome! Marcellas!
Fancy new digs.
Mwah.
My favorite girl in the world, Jase.
It is so
My
good
fellow
to see
all-star.
you.
Yes, exactly.
Don't say it's good to see me, because that means that I'm like, you're happy that I'm out.
No. I've been saying either. Well, actually, I'm disappointed on a lot of levels. Like,
Waving.
hi.
I don't get enough of myself. Hi.
I am disappointed on a lot of levels, only because I either wanted you to win or come out last week.
I know.
Missed it by 1 week.
K-Sir was having this like crazy moment in the house where he was like so unhappy, and I was like, you are the luckiest person playing this game other than the winner, because you get to like go back to your life.
Yeah.
You get to have been here, had the experience, you know, really clocked in some time, and then you get to go home.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but you know what? You're gonna find a way to make sequester work for you. I don't doubt it.
I'm never gonna get over it. I can't.
Never?
I cannot believe that I have to go to sequester.
Oh my God! I'm so glad that the amount of drama hasn't deteriorated from this game. I'm so glad you're still very dramatic, Marcy.
You know, I wasn't. There were certain players that were playing for sequester. I wasn't one of them. I wanted to either go out early or I wanted to make it to the end.
Right.
Or far enough to the end that I was in sequester for like a week.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, you could have gone out in week 3.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
For everybody out there watching, the number to call is 323-CBS-1000, which is 323...
227.
1000! Now, I think you are familiar with the rules. Since Marcellas is the first house guest to be sequestered, you can't speak to him directly because we don't trust you people, really, and you might blurt stuff out. So, you can still call, though, and our producer will screen it for me, and I will ask the questions for you and do the best I can to make you sound fantastic. Okay, Marcellas, you wanna hear from some of your fans?
Okay, I have fans.
Oh, you have fans. You know you have fans.
You have a few left.
Great.
Jeremy from Illinois would like to know, if you had the chance, would you have backdoored Janelle? Oh, good question, Jeremy.
You know, one of the things that kept coming up this week was, what are you going to do about Janelle? What are you going to do about Janelle? And I kept saying, well, Janelle put me up. She actually put me in harm's way. She actually sort of turned on me. And I begged her. I told her, if you put me up, I will go. Because I'm that player. Would I have gone after Janelle? To be honest, I would have kept Janelle in the game.
You would have?
Yes. Janelle is one of those players where she's playing a dirty, risky game. And if you can get to the end with Janelle, you're going to win. This game isn't about keeping people in the game that are good or kind and can beat you. This game is about getting to the end with somebody that you can beat. At the beginning, I was in this love affair with Janelle where I was like, oh my God, it's like this big blonde Barbie doll, and I'm having like such a good time hanging out with her. When she nominated Diane, it showed this completely different side of her. And then when she got nominated and put the house on hot water and on cold water and cots, it was like, she's done. Nobody's going to vote for her. And then when Erika's win was reversed, that was it. It was like when Erika's win was reversed and Janelle won, she had generated such ill will among the house guests that there was no way she could win.
Yeah, that was shocking. When she won again. I mean, it really was shocking.
There will always be, unfortunately, an asterisk by this season, because this is the season of what might have been. If that HOH had gone down the way it went down and was allowed to stand, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I think there's going to, as far as the All-Star season is concerned, I think there's going to be a lot of asteroids or whatever at the end of it.
No, asteroids, yeah. That's
no,
good.
there's a lot of, I think, as far as just the things that's been going on, it's just been a little showy.
Well, it hasn't been, it wasn't what I expected All-Stars to be. I expected there to be a lot more strategizing. I expected there to be a lot more adult behavior. I expected there to be a lot more fun. I expected it to be a little more, on the production scale, I expected it to be a little more glamorous. I expected it to be a little more like, and I'm not saying glamour like we all needed, like every day there had to be prizes and blah, blah, blah. But come on, the gift baskets when you won Hate a Household consisted of like Flamin' Hot Cheetos and Cool Ranch Doritos.
From Trader Joe's.
I don't eat that stuff in my real life, so you got to kick it up a notch to make me want HOH. Give me money, you know? You win HOH, that's an extra 10 grand. People would be out there scratching, fighting, kicking, biting.
That's true.
To make it happen.
But you won't do that for Cheetos, huh? You won't throw down for Cheetos.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. Derek from Massachusetts wants to know, who do you think is the dumbest player? Dumbest. Besides me.
I don't make value judgments like that. I mean, what does that mean? Does it mean dumb? Like,
if it's me, I'm cool. You can say it in front of me.
No, I wouldn't say that in front of you because I didn't think you were a dumb player. I think that you made some mistakes and you could have played, you could have stayed, but unfortunately, Chilltown's influence is just toxic on everybody that they touch. On everybody they touch.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know this.
And it's this influence that you can't get past. It's like, what the hell is going on? They should have been nominated and out the first week.
Exactly.
One of them should have gone the first week. Then the next one gone the second week. Then it would have been like this even playing field. And that's the fault, unfortunately, of the four.
Well, I don't think Boogie's anything without Will.
Oh.
He's nothing.
If you got rid of one of them, the whole thing collapses.
Right.
If you got rid of Will, Boogie's nothing. If you got rid of Boogie, Will's nothing.
Exactly. I agree with you.
You know, Will's nothing but a snake in the garden if you got rid of Mike Boogie. Mike Boogie gave him balls because Mike Boogie had the capacity to win things.
Right.
Unfortunately, allowing him to stay in the game that long let him step up and win something. Once he won that veto, he really believed he could win it, and then it became something completely different.
Marcellas. Another Jeremy, a different Jeremy from Kansas, wants to go back to your favorite moment in time, all the way back to season 3, that fateful night when you didn't use the veto. Can you believe that this still comes up? I mean, we're in season 7.
It's so tiring.
I know, but he wants to know, had you used the veto then, how far do you think you would have gone?
Jeremy,
I'm just reading it, folks.
Jeremy, it's a good question. I used the veto that night, I stay, and hypothetically, Amy goes. Now I'm competing in the next HOH, and everybody knows that out of the 4 people that would have been left, me, Lisa, Danielle, Jason couldn't compete. I was probably stronger out of Danielle and Lisa in competitions. Mm-hmm. So that would have probably been my HOH. I would have put up Danielle and Jason would have gone. I would have still had to deal with Danielle and Lisa in the final 3. Lisa would have taken Danielle to the end anyway. So it would have still been, I would have been 3rd, I would have gone.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, if I had won the first endurance competition, and I probably would have, because I wouldn't have sort of wussed out like Jason did and got out of the pool very early, I would have stayed in and fought. You know, then I won on competition. But we can't deal with, like, wouldas and shouldas.
Especially 4-year-old ones.
But this is the best thing for me about house calls, and I said it last night with Julie. I have had so much angst for 4 years about the golden power of veto.
Right.
And I didn't use it, and Danielle voted against me, and then Jason voted me out, and I've hated both of them.
Right.
Danielle more because I was closer to Danielle. It's been amazing to come into the Big Brother house, play against Danielle, be focused on getting her out, have that change because I realized that we needed each other because we were both alone in the house, and then actually get to this place with her where not only could I forgive her, but I could actually respect her and respect her gameplay.
She's the one person that you did hug when you walked out of the door last night.
Well, I hugged Erika, too, because Erika was standing next to me. Did I stop to hug Danielle?
I thought you hugged Danielle.
It was fast.
It was fast.
All
It was
you saw was this big, looked like a big hairy spider.
Hairy spider just running.
You just bailed. You just left.
Well, you know.
But I have to say, in a weird way, I kind of liked that. I felt like that was appropriate. We've commented before that sometimes it's a bit too fake with all the huggy things in that moment.
There's two things that should be eliminated from Big Brother. One, going upstairs and acting like you actually care what other people's HOH rooms are. And everybody does the walk of kiss ass and this is your dog?
And
you've got the cutest dog. Yeah, cut that out.
Cut it out.
Does everybody make an agreement? We're not going to come up there.
Jase, I always said that if I won HOH, I wasn't going to allow anybody to go upstairs.
That's what I was saying. That's what. If I would have won again, I was going to do the exact same thing, and I was going to be like, I'm going up to my room, whatever, and I was going to lock myself up there until I was only going to come down to nominate and do whatever.
And not bring anybody up there to see it?
I was going to store it with food and hide out.
But I think they want that shot. I think it's one of those contrived shots that the producers have to have, like the 2 minutes of silence before the veto competition.
Which is part of the show,
where we're all supposed to look somber. If you're not being nominated, you're happy.
Right.
You know, you're like...
Right.
But you have to sit there and look like, oh my God, I'm going to be nominated.
We got to see some of your antics when you were nominated. Rolling and flipping and begging and climbing and jumping.
That was the Marcellas that I personally love.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
The guy that...
Absolutely.
He didn't come this season.
No.
And he didn't come for a reason. Like, it was part of my strategy to sort of downplay that and not... I thought that this is Big Brother All-Stars. I thought that there were going to be so many huge personalities dueling for screen time that I just wanted to, like, kind of go under the radar, stay low-key, not butt heads with anyone. Because I felt like I'm not a fan of Howie. And if I got out there with Howie and got into a fight with Howie, then that turns the floor's attention onto me.
Right.
I'm not a fan of Mike, Boogie, or Will. If I got out there and really talked to them and really hung out with them and really listened to their stories, I would have had a problem with it. When Mike Boogie tells a story about going home to Krista's house and meeting her in-laws and they have no teeth and he doesn't like the way they're dressed, to me, that's not a nice story. You don't talk about people that have never said anything mean about you.
Right.
Just because you're blessed with having good teeth or the money to buy good teeth doesn't make you better than other people. So there were so many big personalities telling so many ugly stories and doing so many crazy things that I just wanted to, like
tossing fire extinguishers.
Yes, and breaking things. I just wanted to sort of just, like, you know, I didn't want to, like, get into the fray of that and compete on that level. I just sort of wanted to, like... And that kind of thing makes me anxious, too, like, when I can't understand what's going on, and it's like, so I just had to stay out of it. I was just like, I'm out.
So it was a decision to be more mellow, to be a different Marcellas.
A decision to be more mellow.
Because we definitely, it was not the same guy that we were used to from season 3, or even from House Calls. It was different.
You're a fun guy, you're loaded with personality.
Right.
And you, like when we first got in there, you know, and then, like, it just, like, you were the guy to me that was always on the couch, covered up in your robe, sleeping, which is, that was your tactic, but to me, like, it was like,
I think you just didn't have enough calories.
Like, you went in there, like, you went in there All-Star and you wanted to have fun, you wanted to do more fun things and stuff, but as far as, like, you and I, like, we didn't have fun. Because
we didn't have fun.
You were hiding out. I mean, I know you had fun with the Janelle.
I did have my,
thing.
I did have my Janelle thing. I'm always going to have, like, I love girls. I'm a lover of, I should be straight because I'm a lover of women. But, it just wasn't this, like, fun experience for me, so it just made me, like, I was depressed so much of the time.
Yeah, I was too.
Were you depressed? You guys were depressed?
It was depressing.
Here's the thing, and, like, see if you agree with me on this, and that we might have talked about it in the house. You're selected to be an all-star. With us being the missing chromosome that we're missing or whatever, you couldn't turn down your all-star bid. It's like an honor. It's like, you know, it's like, here, you're this. You're the best of the best. You got to do that. You got to take that. Day 2 in the house, me personally, it was way more miserable than it was the first time around. It wasn't exciting. I didn't think that I was on TV and this going to be this thing. It was just this horrible experience, and it just drug on and on for me.
What if you could pick one thing out of the experience? I'm sorry, Gretchen, but it's nice to talk to somebody.
No, I'm smiling because I like it. You go ahead. You do whatever. Although then, you know, I got some things for you.
What was the craziest? What was the one thing that got on your nerves more than anything?
It was just being separated from all the other outlets, being trapped in the house, and just the repetitive, redundant stories over and over. And just
if I heard one more story about the glory days of season 6 of Sovereign 6 and Busto, and then Kaser gets evicted and then he takes his hand off the buzzer. This was All-Stars. This is a brand new season. Let's create new memories. Let's not rehash the highlights of other seasons.
And myself, I just felt like is my knee up, or you get
No, I'm trying to politely interject here, only because it's spiraling out of my control, and I can't have that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, therapy session.
I know, it really could. And Marcellas, unfortunately, people, right now, we want to talk to you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. My one thing was how loud the
No, I'm kidding.
There's tons of things.
Okay, so now, Marcellas, this is the Super Pass question of the week. Because through real networks, you can have the 24/7 feeds, which if you don't have them, you get them right here at CBS.com. And one of the perks is, if you can't get on the line at house calls, they email us questions and we ask them for you. So, Marcellas, your biggest strength is your ability to be incredibly articulate under any stressful situation. Why didn't you use your gift of verbal gymnastics to further yourself in the game, rather than remaining as quiet as you were during this season?
We did touch on that a little bit earlier. One of the things that I noticed very early on this season, more than any other season, is people were outright lying. Like people, you would say something innocuous. You would say something that meant nothing. And it would come back to you 5 minutes later, and it would be completely twisted and bastardized. So one of the things that I did very early on was, I'm going to talk like it's my job in the diary room. I'm going to get out every emotion that I'm having because that's what the diary room is for. But when I go outside, what I say, I'm going to be very precise with, and I'm not going to say a lot because I want people to understand that when I say something, this is what I said and this is why. Because this was the season where people would, not only would they change something that you said, but they would say something and say you said it, and it would be an outright lie.
And there's bad liars in the house.
Oh, my God.
Obvious. It's all-star level game, and you're talking to someone, and you're like, this is just lie.
Who's the worst liar? Who can you see through immediately?
Will, to me.
Well, obvious.
Yeah.
Will was a bad liar. Janelle was a horrible liar.
James.
Ooh, Chicken George tried to lie to me the other day, and it was like watching a traffic accident unfold. I was like, are you really going to try to stroke me like that?
Chicken George.
The most upsetting thing about Big Brother All-Stars is that Chicken George is going to get to the Final 5 at least.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, were you in over your head in the house, or did you just lose all your energy to play the game? This comes from Pam in Bloomington. Yeah, because let's talk about that. You weren't eating.
Pam, we were, this season they introduced slop, and it was, for me, it just completely threw me off. Do you remember how much farting went on in the big, who am I talking, mic check? There was all this, like, flatulence, and there was all this, like, and people were constantly in the bathroom, people were constantly running to the bathroom, and the camera in the bathroom just freaked me out completely, so I didn't want to use the bathroom at all. And I stopped eating. Like, I was on a green tea fast for 2 weeks. I lost 12 pounds.
People were asking about that, if you were okay, if you were eating, and I just told them that you fast all the time.
I do, as you know.
And that you just probably looked at it as a cleansing thing.
I tried to relanguage it like that. I tried to say, I've done this before. I do the master cleanse all the time. I do the saltwater flush, blah, blah, blah. I tried to relanguage it. But there's no way to relanguage that. The producers put in something that was unpalatable to make this a miserable experience, and it was a miserable experience.
What, could you compare it to anything that I might know what it tastes like? Like, what would you even compare it to?
If you ate paste when you were little, maybe that works.
Paste? Kind of like paste? With crap in it, though? Like, with grainy stuff in your paste?
Oatmeal that had been...
Cornmeal, really mushy.
Right.
On the really mushy side.
Oatmeal that had been left out. Oatmeal that was too watery and had been left out for too long. Barley. Have you ever had to eat barley soup that wasn't good?
Yes.
And barley gets crazy? It gets that crazy texture?
Yes.
Barley.
I'm a texture fanatic, too, though.
Yeah, like...
that determines what I will and won't eat is
the texture is the worst.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't handle the texture thing.
Okay, here's a simple question, and actually about the slop. So that covers Johanna in California. There's how he feels about the slop. And Dave from California wants to know, will you put your robe up on eBay? I think you already have some people interested. Are you going to put that robe up?
God. I will totally put that robe up on eBay. That's funny.
That's a G right there.
You've got
That's
to.
funny.
Because people want to wear it. How about the little eye mask, too? Can you part with that?
I will part with the, you know what? I'll put that robe up on eBay. I'll put the cashmere mask with it, and I will donate the proceeds to charity.
Excellent.
And my
I say you get at least
Project Angel Food. So.
Get at least a G out of the robe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did it become like...
Don't wash it and you'll get more.
Oh, that's creepy.
You know there's freaks out there, Marcy. You could probably sell your socks from today.
I sold the purple Speedo on season 3 to someone, and it was like kind of creepy because I actually was like, should I
no. Well, because are you like, what are they going to do with it?
A picture of me in it to make sure that it was, in fact, the purple Speedo.
You did that, didn't you?
Of course I did.
You mailed your dirty Speedo to somebody who you know wanted to put it on their face and run around.
I washed that Speedo. I'm not Howie. I washed the Speedo. I did, in fact, clean the Speedo. I did.
I know you did. Okay, we're going to take a really, really quick break, and then we're going to come back with more questions and more Marcellas. So stay right here.
God.
Welcome back to House Calls, the Big Brother talk show. Gretchen, Massey, Jase, Marcellas, my man Marcellas. I cannot tell you how it really is great to see you.
I thought about you so much. It was crazy because the house is technically sort of close to where you live.
I know. I drive past it every morning on the way to work.
I know. Oh, my God, I know. And I would just be like, my Gretchen, my Gretchen, my Gretchen. You just miss so much from the outside. I focus on the tiniest little things. One day I focused on your car.
Oh, you did?
And the crazy door. It was like you focus on the tiniest little things, just like get you through like a moment.
Right.
You know?
No, and it's all about small. And here's another thing, like what the show is, what the show's perceived. You and I, huge blowout. I'm tossing fire extinguishers, whatever. But the minute I saw you, like the minute we see each other, we're like. We're family.
I know. We're like hugging downstairs.
I know. There's no animosity here.
And
it's nice.
None at all, because we are what we are.
And I hope and you said that to me in the house, and at that time I couldn't get past it. I was so mired in like being in the house and being angry.
We all are. When we're there, we are there, and we say a lot of crazy stuff and whatever. But it's funny that like when you get out, and I'm just like Marcellas.
But I'm hoping that all of us can be like that. I don't think that it's going to go down that easy. I think maybe we had a previous relationship, and
watch how you say that.
It wasn't a previous alliance, and it wasn't that kind of relationship. We were friends beforehand, and I think that maybe that will buffer us, but I don't know that that will buffer my relationship with other people.
Yeah,
I mean, stuff has gone down that I would never want to see some of these people again.
No, I mean, there's definite people. You're right. There's people that I won't even talk to at the rap party or whatever at the finale, just because. I didn't like them in the house for 1 second, and it was totally, I can't really, I don't know who I can, I just got it.
Yeah, I know, it's
all
okay.
Right.
There's people that I won't be saying, oh, hey, great to see you, dumbass. Mrs. Dumbass.
How long did you think you were going to stay in the game? Honestly.
Honestly, I thought I would go week 4.
Week 4?
I thought I would go week 4. I thought that I was one of those players that people would perceive if they got too far, they could win. And that people would actively try to undo me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
It took week 6 for them to get that. But.
True. Okay. This is how far I thought Marcellas would go. I cannot remember what I wrote. Let's see. Week 4.
Nice.
That is crazy.
I thought you would go week 4.
That is crazy.
I wish you had. I do. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I have definitely missed you on the show. The fans have missed you on the show.
I wish I had.
And it's been sort of bizarre to do it without you because I've never done it without you. So,
oh, my God.
So I've been thinking about it. And now you've turned me into a 24/7 feed junkie. I was keeping good balance last season. I had good balance. I still had a normal life going on.
You had better balance than I did.
Oh, I know.
I was like the freak.
Marcellas goes into the house, and now me and my husband both. Their feed's always on. I moved my computer next to my bed.
Oh, my God.
I did. And I wake up, and I'm like, Marcy, wake up. Come on, get up. I'll pick you up. I'm going to be there in 10 minutes.
Girl, I would have been up in a
pitiful.
second.
I'm like stalking you in a weird way. It's kind of what it feels like. Okay.
I've become a third wheel.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Emil from Emil. Emil. I can't see very well. I'm sorry, everybody. Emil from California wants to know, do you wish you would have joined, the Chilltown Alliance?
No, I don't for one moment feel bad, regret seeing them for the devils they were, disliking them, thinking they didn't deserve to get as far as they've gotten. They offered me things constantly. At the end, they knew they couldn't get me. You know, when I was campaigning to stay, I actually had a conversation with Mike Boogie, and talking to him made my skin physically crawl. And
did you feel? I'm sure you felt the way that I felt. There's a season 4 alliance. Sure, you could glam onto them at some point, but you're the first one voted out of that crew.
Absolutely.
You could glam onto Chilltown, but you're the first one voted out of that crew. So, I mean, there was alliance. I went in there alone this time. You went in there alone this time. Maybe we outside the house people had conversations and set things up, but I was, and you were too. Like, you can't join this alliance and be the first one out in their group or this alliance, and so it's just.
It made no sense. One of the things I'm the most sad about how the game played out is that you put 4 people in an alliance in the house in one of the most obvious and strongest alliances in Big Brother history. And that, on its face, was like a little unfair to players like me who came in alone, and I had my biggest nemesis in the game in the house with me.
Right.
Or someone like, maybe someone like Diane, who was really like sort of alone because she didn't come in with the skills this time to even like begin the play. You know what I mean?
She was alone, so she followed me, she followed me out the door.
It's interesting, too, because this year, each and every one of you came in with baggage. And all of this knowledge about each other, how you played your season, the patterns, the things. Everybody already knew each other's strengths and weaknesses, and it definitely has made it a completely different experience, even just to watch. Completely different.
Did you like the duel? I thought they should have kept up the duel HOH. Because
I thought it was really interesting to come in, and it was really interesting, and it would have been really interesting to see how that would have played out, to see if 2 people could not come to a decision.
And eventually it may come to that. If Dr. Will, then he may try to win HOH with another person just so he won't come to an agreement.
Right.
And I thought they'd keep that up for the first 5 weeks. I thought this is kind of brilliant because it lets everyone is in essence and really playing for themselves.
Well, it was kind of the same thing they did in Survivor All-Stars, where they had to do that first challenge to really show who has alliances coming into the house, and it was this great way. But unfortunately, 1 week goes by, and then nothing. That fizzles out, and then. But first night, you knew where the alliances were. You knew that Chilltown was their thing, and you knew that the 4 was their thing, and that's what it was going to be.
Okay, Jennifer from Nevada wants to know, who did you like flirting with in the house? You were a little flirty. That was one part of Marcellas that we did get to see, is that part of you.
I did have this little sort of...
Because you're boy crazy.
Well, I am boy crazy.
And girl crazy.
I did
so
have
anywhere
this
you look, you're turned on.
Crushy thing at the beginning on Mike Boogie. Because...
You did, didn't you?
Mike Booger. But it's because he is, like, I love that, like, that... I can't say he's that white boy who acts like a black boy sort of thing. And actually, he is. We can say that because it's not the N-word. But he is that thing, and I kind of like that. And at first, Mike Boogie could be really sort of charming. He was being very cool. It was Will who was being like kind of.
But now he makes your skin crawl.
Now he makes my skin crawl. The moment he got that new power. And we think he got the power, and he got the. Let's just say it. Mike Boogie has the power. We don't know what the power is, but Mike Boogie has the power. But the moment that he actually just started winning stuff or got close to winning stuff, he just became this like nightmare. Like he was running the show even more than Will was, and I was like, ugh. So at the end, I fell in love with James. James was amazing.
And Kaser. There was that whole phase in there, too, where you were like, I think I'm falling in love with him, the Iraqi peach. And then I was all like, there's going to be a spin-off show about America's black gay sweetheart and the Iraqi peach, showing that we can work it out.
I did sort of love Kaser. But Kaser and I were in 2 very different camps, and we were at war with each other. You know what I mean?
Hold on. So I think the better question, Jennifer from Nevada, would have been, who did you not flirt with in the house?
Chicken George George and
There
Howie.
you go. There you go. Those two will never do it for you,
Chicken
huh?
George and Howie under no circumstances. But I have to say this. If a gun was to my mother's head, if somebody was holding my 200 pairs of shoes hostage, I would pick Chicken George over Howie.
You would.
Yes,
Oh.
I would.
Yes, thank you. I love that.
I
love that.
I think any woman, man, farm animal would pick Chicken George over Howie. Howie's one of the most
Easily.
repulsive creatures on the planet.
Easily.
Yeah.
I don't get how he became this America's favorite last season, because living with him, I think, is very different than watching him.
Right.
And watching him is different than what is real life,
Yeah.
as far as the show is concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know how I feel. That hasn't changed.
Gretchen wasn't a Howie fan.
And I didn't realize that from watching season 6, he is really edited on the show.
Yes.
And then what we live with.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they couldn't legally air any of that stuff. So, just the word usage and just on and on. So when I saw Howie on season 6, I was like, oh, he's kind of maybe funny, but he's kind of boring. I don't think he's that funny. But then living with him, I see his whole shtick, which can't even make TV. So I don't even know why he's in the in-house.
One of the things that I thought was interesting was everyone needs to come in. I thought it was going to be all-stars. Everyone's coming in with all this information beforehand. So I wanted to see people sort of change their strategies. One of the things that I tried to do was I tried to be like a little more manipulative this time. I tried to be a little more like, I'm going to put myself first and do what's best for me in the game.
Right.
And it was interesting to see people not even try to play a different strategy, try to play the exact same strategy. Season 6, the 4 people from season 6 did not deter from what they were last season. And Chilltown did not play a different game than they played their season. And these are the 2 groups that have gotten the farthest, playing the exact same strategies from their season.
Can I ask you a question, gaming-wise? You and I, when I was HOH first week, I told you, I said, Marcellas, my mom's a fan of you, whatever. I said, we're cool. You and I are cool. And I was out there doing what I was doing, and I was definitely coming after season 6. You knew that and everything. And then it trickled back down to me that you're up there saying that I'm part of Chilltown and that you've got to get me out, like you were campaigning to get me out of the house. I had your back, just because I wasn't up there. If I won HOH, that might be the time where you got close with Janelle, and you kind of threw me under the bus a little bit. But you sold me out.
Say that, okay.
I was not.
Here's the thing.
Good. Finally, it's come up, and then we'll end on this here.
But here's the thing. I did, when you said final 3 to me, let's work together, the way you came into the house, I was like, perfect. I have found the guy. Then I cut my deal with with Janelle. That was final 2. And I intended to honor both of those deals because I could have, because on their face, they didn't conflict with each other. Your deal with me was to go to final 3. My deal with Janelle was to go to final 2. I could have kept both of you together, worked to get the 2 of you to the end, and gotten rid of you when you got to final 3 because our deal was only to get to final 3.
Yeah, I understand.
Now,
but it fell apart somewhere.
It did fall apart. And this is why it fell apart. And this is the Chilltown effect, people.
It is the Chilltown effect. That's why.
I wish that you and I had been able to talk to each other.
Right.
Because Janelle and I had this crazy alliance where all of a sudden we decided that we hated each other. And she starts talking about me behind my back. I start talking about her behind her back. But I still know that that's because she has to make people think that we're not in an alliance.
Right.
And I have to make people think that she's not in an alliance. And I wish that you and I could have had that moment because I felt like I couldn't get you. From the day I walked through the door, my battle was with Chilltown. And when I saw you hanging out with Chilltown, I felt like I could not get you away from Chilltown.
But here's the thing. Me hanging out with Chilltown, I'm the first one cut loose with Chilltown. You hanging out with the Sovereign, whatever they are.
I'm the first one.
You're the first one cut with them. So Janelle was basically, I don't know how far we can go with this, but in her eyes, she was loyal to her alliance.
Right.
So you would have been the first one gone with Janelle. Where I was someone that was in there by myself, as you were, as some other people were.
I agree with
Janelle
that.
was not by herself.
I definitely, I agree with that. I agree with that. And you're not saying anything that I don't know, and you're not whatever. The problem is that in an alliance, you have to communicate, and the 2 of us never communicated,
right.
and because of your relationship with Chilltown, I began to distrust you.
But
just like you were hearing things about me, I began to hear things about you.
Right.
I definitely heard that you were coming after me, that you didn't like that I was going to have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm
But
sorry,
I'm sorry
Marcy. We
that
have
it
to
didn't
wrap.
work
I
out.
could talk
And
to
if
you
it
for
had
hours
worked
and
out, we could have
hours.
messed them up.
Okay, final question. Did you ever take your shirt off? Because people have even asked me, what does Marcellas' stomach and chest look like? He never takes his shirt off in there. I said it's absolutely gorgeous.
Take it off.
I'm not.
No, I know you're not going to do that.
Okay, here's two things about me.
Okay.
I am not this boy that runs around shirtless, and I think that it sends a bad message. When you've got, it's great for you because Jase has a great body. He works really hard on his body. I have an okay body. I look good. If I look like Jase, I'd probably be walking around right now shirtless with a tattoo that says, "Look at me, I look good." I look decent without my shirt on. I get laid. It's all good. But I am a modest person. That's why I wear a bathrobe. That's why I have a T-shirt on. I'm not a beach boy. I don't want to tan. I don't want to get darker. And you know what? That ain't my thing.
Yeah, well, people are only asking because people adore you, and they just wanted to know if you got something going on.
Go buy the calendar. There's a calendar out there. Hottest men, sexiest men of reality, 2006, baby. I'm October. My month hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
Buy the calendar.
2006, hottest men of reality. Why ain't I on it?
You'll do the next one.
And then finally, we can stop the rumors that the reason your shirt doesn't come off is because you have one of those third nipples, because he doesn't.
I don't have a triple.
Okay.
I don't have anything
We have to
crazy.
say goodbye. You have to go because you have stuff to do, and they have to shuffle you off and take you very far away. But thanks,
This
Marcellas,
walks.
for coming, obviously, on.
This
We appreciate it.
has
We
been
love
the bright
you.
spot of my day.
We love you. And while Marcellas leaves, let's take a look at your interview with Julie Chen.
Oh my God,
Let's
I
watch
didn't see
that.
this.
You were safe.
Welcome back to House Calls. Gretchen, Massey here. Jase, Marcellas has left the building, which means the phone lines are open. Now we can say anything we want. You can call in and discuss anything. However, first, we touched on this before. There was a lot of controversy about is there or isn't there a Mr. and Mrs. Smith alliance. I've asked Diane, I asked you, everybody has, but right now we have Mrs. Smith on the line, and I think we should just talk about this right now because I must know. Diane, are you there?
What's up, guys?
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Gretchen. Hi, Mr. Smith.
How are you?
Can't hear her.
You can't hear her? Okay. Are you guys just messing with me?
Diane?
I don't know. Jase can't hear me, or
I can
Jack,
hear you now.
or whoever the hell he is.
It's Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith, I've been listening to you all week on House Calls, and I think you're awesome.
I've been doing a pretty kick-ass job, huh?
You've been doing a hell of a good job. Way better than Bunky.
Hey, cool, thanks. Hey, I told,
The bashing.
when I came out, I saw your interview with Julie Chen, and I talked to Julie Chen, like, the week before you or whatever. And I, like, totally said, yeah, I totally said Mr. and Mrs. Smith does it exist, doesn't it exist? But then I said, like, yeah, it existed and whatever.
Does it? Did it? Be straight now. There's no reason to lie, right? Everybody's out of the game. It's over. Who cares? Just tell us, for real. Did you talk prior to the game and establish a secret alliance?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
God, I thought I would feel more satisfied, but I don't trust you people. I don't believe it, so I don't feel any more satisfied. But is that true?
And Tony Ferrari, the biggest loser of reality television ever, messed up our whole gig, our whole game.
Huh. Okay, so now if that was true, where do you think it went wrong?
The fact that Jase and I didn't communicate at all for, like, the first 2 weeks because...
Yeah, because Diane, you said that if there was a Mr. and Mrs. Smith alliance, you were completely unaware of it.
Well, because I didn't know if it was something that was actually going to happen, because from what I thought was going to happen, we were going to, like, once we got into the game, we were going to be like, all right, either let's roll with it or let's not. But I couldn't get Jase to talk to me for, like, the first week and a half, so I didn't know what he was thinking, and he didn't know what I was thinking, and it was one of those things where, like, I didn't even know if it was something we were going to actually do or not. And I wish we had went with it full blown.
Well, I trusted you, Diane, and I thought that you and I were cool. And everybody, you know, it's kind of funny if you watch the show how they thought they did the Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing, and it's like how we never even talked. We'd be sitting next to the pool, and, like, we wouldn't talk, and then I'd get up and leave. Like, that's awesome, the fact that, and Danielle's like, look, they never even talk to each other. That's kind of hardcore and cool, and I wanted to, like, play it cool, but I trusted in the fact that we were together. I didn't like your diary room bit about, yeah, I got no tears left, blah, 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 for Jase. I'm all cried out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. But no, I thought it was cool that we just were totally low key until like the next HOH and be like secret assassins. But obviously, we needed to talk more.
Yeah, we needed to. I mean, we can't help it. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I personally felt like I was pressed up against the wall for like 4 weeks straight in a row. And I know you had your rough week the third week. Like, we didn't have the option to do anything is what I felt like, you know? Like, I've got this huge target on my back. He's got this target on his back. And, like, us being together only made those things bigger and brighter. So it was like we didn't get a chance to do anything, you know what I mean?
Obviously, communication is at the core of every healthy relationship. Even a secret fake alliance thing. You've got to have communication.
Well, it's just, yeah, we never really got to get our thing rolling.
Right.
And
truly establish it.
The power in the house. And then we totally could have played it up. Like, I played it up that one time, Diane, remember, like, the third HOH or whatever, and I was like, let's try to see if we can work where our things are next to each other and we'll stand back to back in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I was like, maybe Big Brother will put our things next to each other so we could be like back to back in the booth and no one could see it, but that'd be like a little secret kind of
that would be cool
thing. I was all about producing, you know.
Hey, Diane, before we say goodbye, can I ask you, at this point, having watched some of the shows and stuff, who are you rooting for to win?
I'm still rooting for James or Danielle to win. And I'm actually hoping Will wins, you know. Like everybody said, and you guys have said it, you know, if that guy can make it to the final too, he better win it, and I would totally give him my vote. So I'm kind of a Will James fan right now.
All right, cool.
Diane has a crush on James.
Yeah,
No,
Diane.
I don't.
I know.
Later.
Well, Diane, thank you so much for calling in today. Maybe we can talk to you again.
Yes, absolutely. I'll call you when I get back into town.
Okay. Bye,
All right,
thanks.
bye, guys.
Okay, now let's get to your calls right away. Joanne in California, you're on House Calls.
Hey, how are you guys?
Very good.
Okay, I wish that Marcellas could have been around to answer this question.
I know,
Do you
sorry.
guys recall, I don't know if I saw it on feeds or on live TV or capture, there was something about Will and Boogie saying that Marcellas went to Dolce one night before the show started and wanted to strike a deal with Will, him, and Lisa, assuming Lisa was going to get in the house.
That's true.
Totally true?
Is it?
Totally true. And actually, Marcellas and I talked outside the house before going in the house, and Marcellas and I kind of had an alliance, and Lisa was included. And Marcellas is like, you and I, and then Lisa. And then I think that then he was branching out to Will and Boogie for himself. I talked to Janelle outside the house. Everyone had alliances with everyone outside the house.
Yeah, I got to say, for all these alliances, they didn't really work out. You know what I mean? It's like, it seems like everyone went alliance crazy. You can't have that many alliances going in every direction, and then none of them worked.
Everyone has conversations with everyone outside the house. That almost, Big Brother, that's why they let us roll with it, is because once you say, everybody's got an alliance to everyone in the house, they all become null and void at that point.
Exactly.
So they cancel themselves out.
So even if everybody did have these pre-arrangements...
You get in the house and you're like,
it was irrelevant.
I'm cool with everyone.
Right.
And I'm sure they're cool with everyone. So
We're all in an alliance.
And that's like with the Diane and I thing that we just were talking about.
Same sort
On
of
the
thing,
phone outside the house, we're like, yeah, cool. Hey, yeah, let's call it Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That'll be a fun name.
Right.
In the house, she didn't really know. I didn't really know. But
plus, you guys had both probably made alliances with at least 6 other people.
Yeah, but with anybody, like Diane is the one that I did trust the most just 'cause we were on the same season, and I thought I can trust her.
Leanne in Oregon, you're on House Calls. Leanne?
Yes?
Hi.
Hi. I am curious. I have a question for James from someone who was in the or Jase, sorry. From someone who was in the house.
Never let that happen again.
I'm sorry. I watched the feeds and also the TV, and it looks like to us that the people are playing up more for the cameras than actually playing the game, because some of the gameplay has just been the pits. It doesn't seem like it's been very good.
What's the question?
Are you talking about on the feeds?
Yeah, from watching what the strategies would be.
Well, here's the thing. Like, what you see on the TV show that airs 3 times a week is, honestly, they piece that stuff together from 10 minutes a day. Right after a competition, people go have discussions. Right before there's actually voting, or right before a POV, there's 2-minute conversations. They piece that together into a show. If you notice at Big Brother, there's a lot of packages about what's happened prior, a lot of packages about, people's families and stuff, and then there's a little bit of strategizing. The house, there's 23 hours a day that is just hanging out, screwing around, goofing off, that has nothing to do with game. At the time when it's needed, there's a little game conversation.
Right.
But seriously, that part that makes a TV show are 2-minute insignificant conversations in between just goofing off.
That's why the feeds are great to watch.
The feeds are just people hanging out. Like
having fun, doing crazy
not
things.
having fun, but not playing the game. Like, people on the show, it looks like, oh, they're constantly scheming and playing a game. No.
But see, I think even when you watch the feeds, it looks like you guys are, some of you are constantly scheming. You know what I mean? Or I would say at least several times a day, just because I think of the level of paranoia that comes into everyone. If you watch the feeds, you can see people going off and having another conversation, then getting freaked out about what they said there, and then...
Right.
But certainly not 23 hours straight. No.
Right.
There's plenty of Jenga burning and toothbrushing and costume making. Susan in Texas, you're on with Gretchen and Jase.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to get an idea. I watch the feeds and I watch the show, and I don't understand why Janelle is being targeted as being such a big liar, because everybody's lying, but I don't see her stabbing people in the back quite as much as everybody's making it out to be. So I was just wanting some, your thoughts on that.
Right. Why is Janelle being perceived as a big backstabber?
I agree with her 100%. Everybody in the house is lying and backstabbing and trying to get themselves, so everyone is doing it. Whoever happens to have the current power is the one that puts people on the block, and they automatically feel the bad guy role. Like, if you're the HOH, you're the people nominating two people, and that's the bad person. And everybody else looks, innocent, until they're HOH. And then you notice they instantly become the bad person. Everybody in the house starts ripping on the HOH because they are the one that's doing the dirty work. So just pay attention to that from now on, and you'll see that once Janelle loses power and she's on the block and someone else is HOH, they will become the new villain, the new bad guy, the new backstabber, and that's the way that they'll play it up. And
that's a good point, Jase.
And that's kind of the way that it's just set up.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And then on top of that, Janelle has won the most competitions.
Right. So
everything you just said keeps getting compounded and bigger and bigger and bigger till she is this huge threat or backstabber. I mean, all the talk about her and these opinions about her are larger than life now.
Right.
Whether they should or shouldn't be.
Like when I was on season 5, I won. I could win a veto. I was good, and I was in your face and raw. And people, they hated that, whatever.
Yeah.
The thing of it is I was that guy just because I was winning.
True.
I could take people out, and the housemate, they all gathered together and like, oh, we hate because the person has the power. That's all that it is. Watch, it's going to shift. It will shift.
Todd in Oregon, you're on House Calls.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hi.
I was just wondering, is Howie a little bit retarded, possibly? What was up when he was voting last night? When Julie Chen was trying to get him to give his live vote?
Oh, and he was trying to make a joke?
He was doing the Marcellas. She's like, vote, Howie, vote. What was that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what his deal is. But in that situation, I really think he was trying to be funny. But you have to be smart to be funny. So that's all I'm going to say. And it didn't really come out the way he wanted it to.
All I'm going to say is Howie has 9 fingers, not 10. He has 9 because he blew off a finger making a bomb in his parents' basement.
Happened?
Yes, and he was hitting a bomb with a hammer, and he was making a bomb, and it exploded and blew his finger off.
I never knew what was up with the finger.
Yes, he's retarded.
Donna in Georgia, you're on House Calls.
Hello.
Hi, Donna. Hi. Do you need to get that other call?
No, I took them off the hook. I don't need to talk to them. I'd rather talk to Jase.
Cool.
Oh.
I miss you so much on this show. If you were back in there, you could be really kicking some Janelle butt.
You know, and that's the thing, like, that James and I shook hands. We had this conversation. Yeah, I wanted to get the floaters out, the people that aren't playing, and I wanted the all-star season. I wanted to play the best of the best. The veto competition that Janelle and I did in the dumpster diving where she won, I gave her a veto at the end to send her over to win. Like,
you did.
And I wanted to play James. I wanted to play Janelle. I wanted to play the best people. And I wanted to play them because I know that they couldn't beat me.
And you know what? Right now, I'm at the point I want Cool Town to win.
You want Cool Town? Is that what you call them? Cool Town?
Yeah. If Will and Boogie gonna play this game, and they've got Janelle, I mean.
Hey Donna, if you were in the Big Brother house, what would the name be of your alliance? If you were in an alliance with Jase, what would you call it?
Oh, I wouldn't need an alliance. It would just be so cool because we could really. My husband wouldn't let me get in there though. I've got too much of an attitude, he
Those
says.
damn husbands. Thanks, Donna. Always squishing the reality dreams.
That could have been Adria or Natalie.
Didn't it sound like that?
I think it was Adria or Natalie. What, didn't you think
I mean,
so?
it was almost dead on. the
Verbatim.
voice. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That was Adria.
Nicole in California, you're on House Calls.
Hey, Jase, this is for you. I want to know who you want to make it to the Final Four.
I don't know. The game
You're
changes
like,
constantly.
You don't care, do you?
Me and Gretchen, that phone, and that light right there.
And Donna from Georgia.
And Natalie from season 5 just called in and said her name was Donna.
But at least I do know Chicken George is up there for you.
Chicken
Because we
Floors.
talked about that.
Yeah.
I really like the Chicken Man.
I do, and I do. Even though he's totally playing the game and he's not a good actor and not a good liar, but
I know.
I like him. I picked him every time for competitions. He was my buddy.
I know. Okay, this is going to be our very last call. Let's go to Florida and talk to Julie. Julie, you're on House Calls with Jase. You're his very last call.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
What we're trying to find out, and y'all might know, you might not know, is trying to get through when Marcellas was on, the trip and the money that was won in that one competition that Will and Boogie tried to say he won it.
Oh, right.
Did anybody ever let him know that that was what was being said, or?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm going to see if Jase has any inside information, but I'll tell you from our point of view, when Marcellas was here, once a house guest is going to be on the jury, we cannot inform them of anything that was hearsay or that anyone said. We truly can't tell them anything. We have to sort of let them lead. So I don't know if anyone told him that, and I know I certainly couldn't give him a heads up. Do you know if he knew about Chilltown lying?
That's a good.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't.
He probably doesn't.
And then putting that on him. But as you can see, the Big Brother intuition, Marcellas did know that Chilltown is completely full of.
Yeah, he did.
And
knows that they're running the thing. Everybody talks about it.
And things are obvious, like when you're in there. People aren't, like Marcellas, he's a smart guy. It's insulting to say that, oh, he's getting the wool pulled over his eyes. No, he's not. He just doesn't have the power at the time
to do anything
about it.
Yeah.
And people see everything see it for what they are. See the situation for what it is, what it shall be, what it is, what it was.
So, Jase, we are wrapping up here, man.
This is like an emotional day for you. Right?
I know it is. I'm saying it really is an emotional day.
I mean, Marcellas was here, your buddy.
Here.
It was good to see him.
Then he left. I've had a great time with you.
We've had a great time.
And you're leaving just as fast, too, because I know you have a flight. Everyone's getting ripped from me.
I have a flight I got to get on.
Do you want to say anything? One last thing to all of your fans and supporters out there?
Yes, I would just like to say this week has been awesome. I've enjoyed every minute. I've enjoyed all the great calls that's called in. I hope that people have got to see like a different side of me, like the real Jase, not the inside the house gamer plays, because I'm a real guy. I mean, and yeah, I say jokes. I maybe go a little over the top, but you know, maybe you can see a little bit different side of me. That's
Absolutely.
Really just me here hanging out with Gretchen talking. And in the house, you watch a game person playing a game that could maybe do it well, and that's the reason why I was picked to be an all-star.
Yeah.
But Gretchen, it has been
nice.
phenomenal.
It has been a lot of fun.
No coffin lining today.
No coffin lining. Just for you. Thought I'd go with cotton.
Cotton lining.
Well, you know what? Do not miss Monday's show. Of course, we're going to watch the feeds all weekend. We'll talk about that. Of course, there's going to be an episode on Sunday. But Monday, in studio, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, we have Arnold Shapiro on the show taking your calls, and you do not want to miss that.
Most interactive season ever, Big Brother All-Stars. Go to Jokers, type in what you want me to do on the finale. Do something crazy.
You'll do
for
it?
TV, and I will do it. Go to Jokers, say what you want Jase to do, insane, and I will do it, whoever gets the most votes. Most interactive season ever, I will do it for you guys. I'll be crazy for you guys.
All right.
Type it on Jokers, let me know, and I will do it in the finale. Throw a chair, whatever it may be, I will deliver.
I will too. Okay, we will meet you back here on Monday. Thank you so much for watching House Calls, the Big Brother Talk Show with Jase at CBS.com.